Hello and welcome back to the Motorhome Review channel. Today I'm at Leisure World near Catterick in North Yorkshire and I'm here to review this. This is the Bürstner B66 744 and this has a rear lounge layout. I'm excited to show you this one, and this is actually one of Jules's favourite layouts, and hopefully you'll find out why. So let's find out what we need to know. So for 2026, Bürstner released the B66 models, 5 layouts altogether. The 744 is actually the largest and the heaviest in the range. I'll put a link in the description as always so you can check out all of the models and see if there's one for you. But what they've done is they've taken the B66, put a lot of equipment on it at a really good price point. There isn't really much you're going to need to add to this motorhome. So I've told you a bit about it. Let's find out the facts and figures. So Bürstner is a German manufacturer. The B66 is based on the Fiat Ducato. Now this one has the 2.2 litre diesel engine and 180 horsepower as standard, an automatic transmission. That's quite unique to this 744, so 180 horsepower. And you'll find out why it's got that horsepower in a minute. So up here at the front we can see our grey cab. This is the standard colour paintwork, and this model is priced at just under £86,000. Up at the top, the Bürstner logo, and then we come down the semi-integrated cab to see that B66, our headlights, the Ducato, the Bürstner again, and the colour-coded bumper as well. Now, why do we need 180 horsepower? Because this motorhome has a gross vehicle weight of 4,400 kilos or 4.4 tonnes. So you will need the C1 category on your licence. But the good thing is you're going to get a great payload, 761 kilos, and that takes into account all the extras that come as standard because they're not extras as such, if that makes sense. So that is a fabulous payload. Size, so the 744, let me wander this way. In total length, it's 7 metres and 36 centimetres long, one of the longest in the range. Width, 2 metres and 30 centimetres, and height, 2 metres and 99 centimetres. So those are the facts and figures. Berths, standard 2 berth, or you can add 3 further berths and go up to 5 berths if you wish. So between 2 to 5 this vehicle will sleep. This one here at Leisure World is a 4 berth, and in terms of travel seats you're going to get 4 travel seats as standard. So we had a look at our cab when we were up there at the front. Let's make our way down the offside and talk about what we're going to get on here. So we've already said about this standard paintwork, really nice, and then the graphics or the decals, and you can see those feeding here. There's also this side step here making it easier to step into the cab, and the Fiat alloy wheels as well. Now coming down, so those graphics continue down for the B66 season. We can see that embossed here as well. Nice contrasting colours. Up on the roof you will get one 100 watt solar panel as standard. You'll also get a lithium battery as standard, and this wind out awning with the LED strip light underneath. Absolutely lovely. Habitation door is here on the off side because this is a European manufactured motorhome. Our vents for the tower fridge and freezer, toilet cassette point, gas barbecue point, continuing down, external television point as well. Then we have a window here on the rear offside that looks into the lounge that we'll see soon. And then we have a garage space, fairly compact garage because we have got a lounge at the rear. However, if you don't want to put e-bikes in here, you shouldn't have a problem because that garage is still a good amount of space running all the way, put this light on, all the way down through the motorhome. It's just because the sofa of the lounge is here, you don't have the same headroom. There's a plug socket, there's a light as I've just demonstrated, and as I say, it goes all the way down. The winder for the awning is under there, and there's also some Alco chocks there as well to stop your motorhome from rolling backwards or forwards once you're pitched up. So yeah, nice little storage space that. I'll turn the light off and we'll continue around the rear. So coming round the rear, what are you going to get? So as standard, you will get a rear view camera. We can see that there. It's actually inbuilt into the Bürstner logo. It's quite clever. And that's a high level brake light as well. B66, and then this window. Brilliant when you're inside. Bürstner across the back, and then the recognisable Bürstner light clusters as well. So that's our rear end. Let's continue round. You will also get Wi-Fi as well as standard. Then we have our garage door on the near side that we saw when we were on the off side. Electric hookup point. Continuing down, external shower as well. And then our locker for the gas. You'll be able to store 2 11-kilo gas bottles in here. Fresh water, you'll get a 105 litre fresh water tank and a 90 litre grey waste tank. Then we have the vent here for the Truma air-blown heating and a service hatch here. Right, continuing down the near side cab, our diesel filler, and then this into the cab itself. I'll just open this up so you can have a look from this side into that cab. Now the doors, they do have the blinds in the windows on both sides. There's also the windscreen blind internally as well. And that is our cab space. Jules just giving you a sneak peek. He loves to do it. He can't wait to get into this one himself. As I say, this is one of Jules's favourite layouts, the 744 layout. So let's go in. You will get a standard, an electric step that's situated just down there. If I open the door, there's a little clasp here that's going to go across and hold onto there. So I'll keep it in place if it's a breezy day. Within here, concertina privacy blind. And then coming down, a bin and some storage here as well. Let's go in. Good thing with Bürstner, they always have nice wide doors. You'll get the fly screen as well. I'll head straight up into the front. So making my way up into here. Now I've turned this seat. This seat will also swivel as well. On the Bürstner B66 range for 2026, there's 3 choices on upholstery. You can have stone, cream or chocolate. This is shown in the stone here at Leisure World. So let's make a start up here in our cab. So we saw outside a little peek in. Automatic transmission as standard. The Fiat cab and the infotainment system here. I mentioned about the blinds. If we go upward, nice size sunroof, it does open, and there's a blind and a fly screen. Running around the front of the cab, the storage on this shelf area all the way around, but also we've got a nice leather upholstery trim here and it matches the rest of the upholstery. So we haven't just got a plain finish, it's something a little bit more special. And then we move down. So here on my passenger seat, you can see B66 embossed there. They've really put some effort in on the fabric, and Bürstner do that all the time. So nice quilted finish. The armrests are finished in the same material as well. It really does make you want to sit into it and get settled down. So turning around, our lounge area. Now you can get a number of people sat round here. We've got this nice L shape. I personally really like an L shape in a motorhome. A lot now are going to facing seats in the dinette area, but this is our L shape. And the benefit with this is you can get your feet up and really relax and sit back with your head up against there. So nice upholstered finish here. And on the off side, there's also a bench seat to sit on as well there. The table, you'll see the table leg, it is a fixed table. This will slide around though, so you can manoeuvre it where you want on the top to some degree, but it is a fixed leg. Let's go downwards and have a look at the flooring. You'll notice the flooring in the 744 is one level all the way through. It's going to give you 2 metres and 5 centimetres of headroom. But if you don't want floors where you've got to step up and down, this could be a really good one to put on your list. Let me make my way around. Got a nice little pocket here as well for putting bits and pieces in. So as I come in, lounge area that I've spoken about, and then we have some storage. Now I'll talk about this and then we'll talk about this drop down bed. So under here we have a wood fascia and a matte black handle. You push that in, it's got a push in clasp, open it up. Nice strong clasps, nice to see that this isn't going up and hitting the top there. Storage in these. Now because this has the optional drop down bed, you find the cabinets are a little bit different if you had the non-drop down. So this is an optional extra. It's going to cost you around £1,500 if you want to add the drop down bed here in the lounge. You'll also notice if you have the drop down bed, it will reduce your headroom here to further back in the motorhome where I mentioned it being 2 metres and 5 centimetres. On the off side, there is another storage cupboard. You'll also see these little downlighters. They're dotted all the way around the motorhome. There's also LED strip lighting in here as well. Storage cupboard there. Now, if you add this drop-down bed, it's 1 metre and 99 centimetres long, and it's 1 metre and 34 centimetres wide. So that's what you're going to get there. Let me just dive down to the floor before I carry on. Storage. Absolutely fabulous. As well as the cupboards, you're going to get 2 underfloor storage compartments, so you can put items out of the way in there. Obviously, if you have carpet fitted, you're going to have to consider getting into there. This is the bed, as I say, above me, and then we feed down to the control panel. So this is your Bürstner control, water and battery there. And then here, the control for the Truma air-blown heating, a television point, a plug, a USB charging point. Bracket fitted here, so telly is going to go on this wall. And then it gives you a little bit of worktop space up here at this higher height, and that feeds down into our tower fridge and freezer. This is a Dometic appliance. It's 133 litre capacity. Just open that up, and you can see there the capacity you're going to get. That's the freezer compartment in there, feeding down to the floor. The one thing I'll say, because they've made an allowance for a television up here, on this one, if you have got things lower down, it is more at ground level, and that's quite unusual in a motorhome. Generally, the fridge freezer would be further up at this level, so you won't be going quite as low down. So again, just something to consider. Over onto the near side. So on here we have our kitchen. Now, what I do like is this finish here. We've got LED lighting around here, really nice. And then a good amount of space here in this kitchen. Nice finish on the worktop as well. Matte black tap, so it's complementing here. Sink cover, just take that off, but you can see that. Circular sink. And then on the back wall, we've got this wall board here with the blind fly screen, and that does open as well. Above me, we have a locker for storage. Again, there's a little bit of an intrusion into this cupboard, so it does limit the space here. And if you're smaller like me, you're going to potentially struggle just to get up there, but it's a nice high cupboard for most people to reach into. Coming down now, here we have 3 gas burners, and underneath we have the gas oven and grill. This is a Thetford appliance, so when that's down, you have more of the worktop space. You can always use the table, and you've got this space here. Let's come down and have a look at the storage here. So opening this up, now this has changed colour as well. We've now got this dark, I'd call it a dark brown colour is probably the best way to describe it. Just a little bit of storage in this side here. And then under the oven and grill, we have a slide out drawer. That's where you're going to find your cutlery tray. So again, a little bit more different to normal. We're having to bend down to get our bits and pieces out of there. And then under there, a little bit more storage. And then next to it, we've got 2 more compartments. We've got one there, which I'll open up. These are also your gas isolation valves as well. And then here, sliding that out, we have a rack, ideal for putting in our tins and jars and bits and pieces. So storage in the 744 kitchen, not bad. I'd say the only thing with that is if you've got more plates or you've got pans, where you're going to work out the storage that's going to work for you in this part of the motorhome. Now moving back, let's have a look under here first of all before I go any further. We already saw 1 storage compartment, and here we've got more storage under the floor as well. So I do like that you've got space to put items under there. Now looking up above the kitchen, we have a good sized sunroof that does open, blind and a fly screen. The ceiling, it's a solid plastic finish, and then we come through and we find a shower and a washroom. I'll just close the door here to separate the areas. So if I close that, you'll see that mirror running down. There is a gap here at this top part, and then that leads through into this rear lounge and then the shower and washroom. And I think it's nice to have this door because on a night time when you want to relax back here, you can totally separate the front to this rear. Shower here on the near side. This is nice. So I'll let you look in there before I dive in. So we have got this bronze coloured splashback part, a black matte shower handle, so it's matching everything else. The plug hole, the shower screen, there's lighting in here, a sunroof. I'll step in now. This bar here for drying towels on, and now we haven't got a drop down bed above me. You'll also notice the benefit of that headroom that I mentioned before. So the shower, not a bad size. What they've done is it's a narrower entrance in and then it opens up back here. I think personally I'd probably be stood with my foot on this part here so I can get full use of the shower. I have got somewhere to put my shower gels as well. They can go in here, operate my shower, obviously close the screen. The compromise, I think, is the shower space, because there's always a compromise. If you don't shower on board, it's not going to be a problem, but if you're a larger person, it's just one to consider. But otherwise, it is nicely finished. I like that. Right, let's move through. We'll do the lounge and then we'll come back to the washroom. There's a further privacy screen as well, so if someone is showering, you've got the door shut, you can always slide this across as well. And then here we've got a control for the drop-down bed, which I'll show you in a minute. All our light switches, and then if I open this up, we've got a wardrobe. The ladder there for climbing up onto the bed. So the storage at the top, the storage down here at the bottom part, and then under here, if I give that a prod, you've also got a slide out, and close that up. There's some storage under there as well. I'll push that back. What I think potentially you can do on here as well is, and you do check with your dealer before I tell you this, but I believe what you can do is once you've dropped the bed down, you can use this as the step to get up onto the bed. So check that out, but I believe that's what that's for as well. But additional storage underneath as well. I'll close that. You'll see there is a plug as well down there at floor level. Closing that up, and then we'll go into the lounge. Look at this. I already want to sit down. Now this is the one. Jules first saw a 744 layout in 2019. We were at Caravan Salon. It was on the Bürstner, obviously. It was an integrated A-class motorhome, and he was absolutely taken by this. And I get it, because one thing motorhomes often lack, look at this, one thing motorhomes often lack is somewhere to relax. That is not the case on the 744. You've got a lounge at the front, and then you've got this fabulous L-shaped lounge here wrapping all the way around. This beautiful stone leather finish, the B66 embossed on the cushions. I think we'll just end the review there and I'll spend the afternoon in here. But again, beautifully quilted, this curvature here. There's also little armrests here that are nicely padded, so when you sat there, you've somewhere to put your arm. I'll stand up. So continuing round, so the windows running all the way around. There are these nets, you can see that one drop there, nets that drop for privacy, blind and a fly screen. I'll just pull this one up. It's the concertina blind at the back, as you can see there, so not the plastic finish, the concertinas. So if it's a warm day, the window's open, fresh air coming in. This window's a little bit different. I'll just lift this instead of trying to pull it up on the string while we're here. You'll see it's a different shape there, running upwards vertically, so you can sit there looking out and getting a fabulous view. Now, there's also space here for putting items on this shelf part. This at the moment is packed away. I'll show you what happens with that in 1 second, but just under here you can see further storage under there, this little compartment as well, so no space wasted. And then what you do with this part is there's a leg, so this slides out. I'll just find that leg, there it is, lift the leg, slide this out, keep hold of it, and then pull this round and drop it down onto the floor. You can move this obviously round, so the benefit is you can sit here to eat as well, so you're not having to get to the front table. You can obviously put drinks on here, and opens up that shelving unit. Now here you'll see there's a plug socket and a television point, so you could either put your TV down here or have a bracket on one of these walls. Speak to your dealer about that. Now when it comes to bedtime, you do have this drop down bed. This again is 199 centimetres long, it's 140 centimetres wide, operated on there. So you're going to drop that down into your lounge area. Again, the good thing with this motorhome is, whether it be that it's 2 of you, 4 of you, 5 of you, once this drops down, you're going to put this lounge out of commission, but you still have that lounge at the front, so you can sit up there instead. Equally, if you want that drop down bed, you can sleep up there and keep this in commission. So there's lots of different ways you can use it. Let me open these cupboards so you can see the cupboard space. That one does just contact on there, doesn't on there, because that's actually sculptured in there. What you'll find though, if you're trying to open them all, you're going to make contact there. So you're going to need to just use one at a time. Again, that's going to make contact there. And then just be careful there as well. Contact there. Nice strong hinges there. Space going all the way back. And then these little lights that I mentioned as well. Right, let's drop that down and then just see it back how it should be. We don't want our last view of it to be all my cupboards are open, do we? Right, lovely lighting, lovely lighting. One thing Bürstner always do really well, I just want to sit down again, one thing they always do really well is lighting and upholstery finishes. They always make things very fluffy and welcoming, which is quite unusual for European manufacturers. So let's go to the washroom next, but before we go there, let's recap. So we've got our rear lounge space, this table that you can set out, the drop down bed, 199 centimetres long, 140 wide, a TV point, the wardrobe storage, and then we venture into the washroom area. So opening this up, the matte black continues, great to see it all the way through. Somewhere to hang towels, and then in we go. So nice use of the space. So I'll just let you look and then I'll demonstrate bits and pieces. But we've got a Thetford swivel toilet, the sink with matte black tap, the cabinet, and then that mirror, and up above there is a sunroof that does open. So if I step in, there's 2 little hooks up here. There's this bar, you can place items behind there, your toiletries when you're on the site, space to put bits and pieces. This toilet, you are just going to just demonstrate as usual how I'd be using it, but you do just have to sort of step up a bit. I'm not going to go full hog, but it's almost like you do have to step up to go to the loo. Obviously always check that you can close the door. The sink, I'll step back down, matte black tap, plenty of room. You can really get over this sink, that's fabulous. This is a shelf here, little black bar, the mirror, the Hollywood light style, more lighting as well. Then we've got a grey finish on the wall, a cream finish, so plenty of colours going on in here, some more little hooks. And this is where you're going to put your loo roll, and then it's going to feed through there like a letterbox, so you'll feed that through there. Storage, and then there is a cabinet with some storage here, so let's take a look. I don't think we're going to find bars. What do you think? Let's have a look. No, we haven't got bars. Oh, my disappointment after all that back there. But no, so we've got, it would be nice to see some bars across, just so all your toiletries don't fall out once you've arrived on the campsite. But what I like is, I'm just going to stand on here because I'm small. What I really like is here, this is a fabulous height. So those taller toiletries, you've got somewhere to put them. So that is nice. And another thing that's good is, in this door frame here, there appears to be a fabric strip, so you or children don't trap your fingers in there. That's a good feature. It's not often I see that. So yeah, that's quite well thought out. So that's a little washroom. Nice little space. Feels nice, looks nice. The shower, potentially a compromise for some in its size, but there's always a compromise. I've not had an issue in there, but I'm a little bit smaller. Storage under the floor. The kitchen space, nice amount of room in here. One thing, I'm just having a look, there's a plug socket in there. One thing I sort of worry about is maybe those bigger items and where you're going to have to put some of those. And is the tower fridge freezer a little bit low for some people? Probably not, but for some it may. And then another lounge area. I mean, this is pretty good by motorhome standards anyway, but then to have another one back there, fabulous. One thing I'd like to have seen more, and I think your dealer could potentially do it for you, is more USB charging points. That's what I think, that's the only thing I'd like to see more. Right, let me jump out and we'll make our way up to the front. So that is the Bürstner B66 744. 5 layouts altogether. This one is the largest in the range. Just under £86,000 for everything that we've seen. The only thing I think some people may want to fit is an air conditioning unit potentially. Other than that, I think it's just about all on here. We've got solar, we've got Wi-Fi, we've got lithium, we've got an awning, we've got an electric step. We've got plenty. Good sized water tanks as well, and that fabulous lounge. What do you think? Is it for you or not? Maybe one to put on the list if you're looking for a rear lounge. Thank you to Leisure World here in North Yorkshire who've let us come to do this review. I'll put a link in the description to their website. I'll also put a link to the Bürstner website so you can check out all the models in the Bürstner range. So as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.